Very special to sit in the i30 N Performance today. Amazing vehicle actually, specifically let's say cornering performance, as you can see right here. And the best thing about it, you can hear it, those amazing pops and bangs from the exhaust. I would say even better than our Focus RS that we owned, at least when it was still stock, the Focus RS. This is almost on par with that Ego X exhaust that we had from HG Motorsports, and that from a stock, let's say, exhaust system and manufacturer. Amazing job what Hyundai has done here with the first vehicle that come to the market, the first sporty vehicle, and that one is already amazing once it comes to performance, sound and everything. If you compare to the Golf GTI, you will quickly realize that it's a different league once it comes to performance and sound. Specifically the sound, I think, is a huge enhancement over that vehicle. I actually like this engine because it revs really clean. On the other hand, also of course the handling, the chassis is very agile. The car is not too light, but it feels pretty light once you drive it. Steering is maybe not on the same level as on the Focus RS as we had it, or our BMW M2. That could use some improvement, but on the other hand, once it comes to, let's say, speeds that you gain in the corners, it's very good. What's very neat here actually, that you can go through the drive modes. If you're on the normal drive mode, everything is pretty quiet and you can drive around town or start the vehicle, everything is super quiet. Press the sport mode once or twice, you get in that N mode, and that is really cool how the exhaust system picks up and how loud it gets. Neat thing also that you can see the shift indicator in the center menu. I think you've already seen it in the acceleration video. That's a neat feature. This is just so much fun to drive the car that fast. Really astonishing how much it grips actually. One of the first days also today where the track is pretty dry. It was different in the last days when we also did the other videos. Often enough it was too slippery. I know you can see it has grip. Also transmission, I have to say it is pretty good because once it's warm you really get the next gear in very well. The shifts are short. Yeah, mainly if you do an acceleration run, you lose mainly time because of the traction of the front wheels, not because of the transmission. Specifically in higher gears, you can really see that third, fourth, fifth gear goes in very well. I think also there it's a well-balanced package. Specifically, let's say, summing up the features of this car, or let's say the positioning of the car, and from a pricing perspective, I think you have to compare it somewhere to a Golf GTI Performance, maybe to a Seat Leon Cupra 300, although I think that one is already a bit more expensive. If you compare it to the two cars, it's pretty clear that it delivers a lot more sportiness from a driving perspective, but also from the exhaust sound, a lot more uniqueness and specialty compared to the Golf and also to the Seat, to be honest. The engine, of course, of the VW, also the Seat, is amazing, so that pull-through is likely a bit more than what this engine has, but honestly, who cares if you want to play around on country roads, if you want to have fun, if you want to start up the car and immediately feel the emotions. For me personally, this is the more fun car to drive. I jump in and you immediately get that smile. The VAG group cars tend to be a bit, let's say, too calm and a bit too quiet. Yet on the other hand, it doesn't have this, let's say, unpracticality of the Focus RS that I often found in daily use, because the Focus RS from a suspension perspective was just very harsh, and also the all-wheel drive, let's say, was more a disadvantage in everyday usage than it was really an advantage. So for me personally, this concept is quite interesting, and it gets very, very close to what also the German powerful compact and hot hatches are having. I'm really looking forward also to drive cars like the Honda Civic Type R, the new one that we will get after Easter, and on the other hand also the new Megane RS, because I think that are cars which will be kind of in a similar league from an emotional perspective and driving pleasure perspective. I'm really looking forward to see how they run and go. And I think really the most important part that Hyundai has done right with this car is the exhaust sound, because I'm now in this N mode. You can also configure it to be exhaust and rev match very loud while being in normal suspension. But if you just lift off the gas, the pops and bangs which are coming from the rear are very, very natural and not that high toned as in the Focus RS, but also very deep burbles, always different, let's say, noise levels and always different volume. It's not always popping and banging, but I don't know if you can hear it, but it's a very, very nice sound from the outside. It is super loud. I mean, I don't know how Hyundai has done it, but they have something like 109 decibels that this car is allowed to do, specifically, let's say, on downshifts with those pops, but also at standstill. It is amazing how much volume the car gets. You have seen likely already our pure sound video when we showed the clips in the forest. The video is not bringing across half of the volume that the car has. Honestly, even in comparison to our BMW M2, that is quite a nice exhaust tone that this car has, and there's no need at all for anybody to change that with another downpipe or, let's say, with another exhaust system. You can feel the stiffness in the suspension here, of course, but still the car feels very stable, and although I'm in ESP Sport mode here, I still have the confidence that everything works as I want it. A bit drama, but not too much. This is how I like it, honestly. And it's still not like you have the feeling you get torque steered into a tree or something like that. It is still handleable and on about of the right level, specifically in dry conditions, a lot of fun.